first step is to go ahead and take the gasket and put it in here. Make sure you just press it in. Just like that. It's in there. Then come through and you slide the DPF system in here. Now, this part can be a little tricky. You got to make sure that this is lined up properly and that there's no gaps or anything like that when you go ahead and slide this clamp on there, because you don't want any gaps or anything because it's going to mess your seal up. So when doing this, you want to make sure that you have your DPF lined up properly with your DOC, your inlet side. It's very important because if you have any gaps and it's not sealed properly, your truck will start throwing codes. You might have some soot flying out, some back pressure. Just want to make sure that you have everything sealed properly before you put this thing back on the truck. And your end over here, your outlet end should be lined up as well. It's another indication. Because you have to put this lid back on, you want to make sure that your bolt is slid down so it doesn't prevent you from putting your lid back on. Alright. You can kind of tighten it as you go to help you stay in place while you're checking to see if you have a good seal. And when you tighten this, you want to make sure that when you're torquing, you don't want to use anything that's above 200 RPM. Because you don't want to mess the threads up, gall them up, and then have to replace a whole new clamp once again. Look sealed up real good. So on your outlet end, you're always going to have this gap over here between your DPF filter, the outlet side, and then your outlet side over here. That gap is fine. It's common. That's the reason for the dual band clamp. It seals that gap, covers it up, and this gasket inside, as you can tell from the existing gasket, will go over the top of that and seal it up real nice. And that's also another reason why you want to make sure that you replace your clamps. And again, you want to make sure that your nuts are accessible and that they're not going to get in the way when you go to put this lid back on. Just tighten that up little by little. And then for our V-band clamp over here, we have a 13mm socket. For our dual band clamp, it's a 15mm socket. Put it on low, make sure you go slow when you tighten it up. You don't want to mess anything up. And there we have it. Both DPF systems are installed and ready to go back on the truck.